But I think it's a family line. They have a little puppy they go walking by. They have orange hair, very nice.
But it's not area.
Not that I know of.
When did these packets get our mailboxes?
Probably, yes.
At the event. It was over on Thursday. I was like, oh, we're gonna try to get one. It's really hard to at the time to find that. Hard, I know.
Yeah. It's always on white.
Agenda?
Must have made it.
Well, what are you talking about?
I didn't know what in the hallway? Oh, I never, a lot of times I used to find them and say,
Well, it's always like
That would explain.
on that board.
okay, well, that's good to
So
know.
that, just peek in and like,
Sure.
So anyway, let me know what works well for you for just take a spin out there because you want to do it.
Well, yeah. if it
Sure.
makes sense.
What time you thinking?
Oh, maybe they wanna.
I don't know what time is best. I don't know either one of them.
It's like cheers for right now. We can do that during the day. And they're actually probably busier during the day. So like when I say day, like after early evening.
Those are the only two I have in. Especially when it's a place like Steamer Stop, what are they doing?
They sell alcohol to go, but they don't have.
So that, I've been in there.
Yeah.
So we don't have to in there. So those two are the only ones I've been in there. So, no, I know them all.
You've been inside too.
I really know, inside and out. We are? When?
Today.
Oh, we are? Okay.
When are we gonna talk about?
I have a little bit here.
I'll tell you what I place. It's on the agenda. You've got it. Can't be more. 5:30. It's on the agenda.
I always thought.
Oh, yeah.
All right, call to order city council meeting for city of Fulton. Apologize. Roll call, please, Tori.
Mayor Malone,
Here.
Alderpersons Boonstra,
Here.
Bergdrath, here, King,
Here.
Mask, here, Ratcliffe,
Here.
Sewell, here, Van Canton, here, Wilkin,
Here.
All right, join me in the pledge of allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, I do not have any presentation or appointments this evening, but we do have Kelly Parsons here. Ma'am, would you like to speak?
yes, please.
Floor is yours.
Good evening, all. My name is Kelly Parsons. I'm the Assistant Superintendent of Schools for the Riverbend School District. I reside at 706 Valley View Drive here in Fulton. I'm here to informally request permission to use 2 temporary storage containers on district property for the foreseeable future as we work towards a permanent solution. My timing for this informal request is based on the code enforcement letter we received today and having a few minutes this evening to briefly share our story for your consideration so it can appropriately be added to a future agenda. Over the past few years, our wrestling program has seen unprecedented growth, including the addition of female wrestlers and a female wrestling coach. However, this success has also presented us with a significant challenge, which is a lack of adequate practice space. To accommodate the increase in participants, we've had to convert storage space into practice space, which has created a logistical issue as we no longer have a safe space to secure and store all of our various teams' equipment. Our current situation is simply not conducive to safe and effective training. That's why we need this temporary, fiscally responsible solution. Our intent is to construct a permanent addition to our property in the next 2 to 3 years, which will be designed specifically to house a dedicated wrestling and multi-purpose athletic space as well as additional storage space. This will provide a long-term home for the program, and we are already in the planning stages to make this a reality. Allowing us to use these storage containers is a critical step in bridging the gap between our current needs and future plans. It will ensure our athletes can continue to practice safely and effectively while we prepare to build the permanent home our growing programs deserve. Thank you for your time and for considering this informal request. I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have in the future, and I'm also available to attend either the October 13th or 27th meetings, depending on the agenda, and to answer any additional questions at that time. Thank you.
And who'd you get the letter from?
City of Fulton,
Today?
today.
I can talk about it.
Go ahead.
It's just one of those that I brought to the school's attention that because of the storage containers that they're using, the city only allows it for a temporary basis for 30 days.
Okay.
After the 30 days, it can be extended for 30 days, so it would take them out to November 22nd. I just want to make them aware that's what our ordinances are and stuff like that, but I understand the reasons for it too. That's why we asked her just to come explain what they're doing and why they have them and stuff like that, just to see if maybe something can be
Sure.
addressed with it.
Okay. Well, thank you, Kelly.
Get a question on, so I know there's multiple options for some expansion at any given school here in the district. So is a additional building, is that a definite gonna happen in this 2 to 3 years? Or is this, because if you put a new gym at the middle school, and maybe that's just one aspect, is this additional storage an automatic?
Am I free to answer since it wasn't on the agenda? Okay. At this point, there are still many options on the table. We are looking at going to referendum for part of the project. So if by chance that does not pass, then we would obviously have to go in a different direction with this space. And at that time, we would reconsider what we were doing with the storage units. So obviously, we don't want to be paying for them any longer than we have to.
Do you guys own those or are you renting them?
Renting.
If only the first part of the plan is done, say the school, the gym at the middle school, could the storage be built into that, even though it's high school things still be stored there?
Ideally, they would be stored on the same property where they'd be used, just for the simple fact that having to travel up and down the road, while it might not be that big of a deal, it really is. It is. So ideally, we'll have storage on site.
What kind of storage are you using right now? What is the temporary storage?
Oh, 2 of the big
Shipping
container boxes.
So I thought, I just want to make sure.
They're in our neighborhood, and we have had neighbors comment on them. They're not loving the sight of them and the way that they look sitting in the schoolyard there. So, I mean, I don't know if there's another option as far as where they can go if they're going to sit there for 2 to 3 years near the parking lot by the bus garages, if there's options that way. But I have heard complaints in my ward regarding it.
Understood. Thank you for sharing that. The initial plan was they were going directly behind the building, kind of off of the curved lot that comes down by the cafeteria. But when the semis came to deliver them,
Couldn't get them down there.
they absolutely could not, they couldn't put them there. So we were limited on where they could go based on that.
How many kids in the program now, the wrestling program? I'm happy to hear that it's grown so over the years.
Barb, I'd have to get back to you on that.
I'll comment.
Oh.
So I volunteer coach
Oh, that's right.
the junior wrestlers, what we call the beginners program, as well as help with IKWF wrestlers. And right now, there's essentially one room at the high school that high school shares with these 2 other clubs, and it's literally probably the size of this room. It fits 1 wrestling mat. Half my job as a coach is making sure little kids don't go flying into walls because they're learning. And temporarily that Kelly's talking to is adjacent, the hallway adjacent. There's a storage room that they've used to store wrestling mats at tables for the cafeteria. And we cleared out a very small space last season to put down a very small mat for the young kids. And like I stated, it's not a viable solution to have equipment in there and ensure the safety of the kids, because I'm grabbing kids as they go, stumbling or flying off the mat before they smack their head on something. And we have mats around the end. It's just, they're young and not coordinated yet. So that's the solution we have they have provided temporarily, and we appreciate that. It's just, now what do you do with all that equipment that was it? I mean, that room's at least as big as this room as well, and they got to put that stuff somewhere. So, yeah.
I'd be happy to get you a rough estimate of numbers in the next day or so, though. I apologize, I don't have that with me right now.
There's 40 something, but I don't know if that included the club kids too, as well as the junior high.
And the girls' team, did that
I
include?
did not include the girls team either. Everybody's mixed in when at the super young age.
Are the clubs affiliated with the schools still?
I don't think they're officially affiliated. Like, we practice there and, call ourselves little Bulldogs, but I think it's more of thank you for letting us use the facilities to coach the next generation of wrestlers. I think is honestly, I don't know. That's an Aaron Keeble question, and or used to be an Aaron Keeble question. Like I said, I just come in to help.
I believe IESA is looking to add a state wrestling series as well. Correct.
Anyone else? Thank you, Kelly. I'll get with Adam here and get a copy of what he gave you. I haven't seen it. We'll do some research on the ordinance itself. If Mr. Parsons is available tomorrow, or someone at the school, maybe you can show me where they're at. Are they on the high school yard?
Yeah, right up by the
Go out to the football field
Okay.
and
They're not
turn left down to the
Okay.
shed, or just past the shed.
Okay.
Yeah. So they probably obstruct some views,
Sure.
people.
And I can research the ordinance itself, and we'll get it on the agenda for discussion definitely next time.
Okay.
Usually how we you'll bring it to us. Next meeting we'll discuss. Meeting after that we'll vote.
Okay, yeah,
Kind
I
of a
appreciate
timeline.
that. Let me know if you need me to attend any of those meetings to provide further feedback, or besides the numbers, if there's anything else
Sure.
you need from us. And thank you for the feedback on what you've heard about their location.
Question on the mats though, do those require temperature climate storage?
Yeah, otherwise they get brittle.
So if they're out in a storage container, what do you guys do during the winter then?
So the containers are for all the other equipment that would go into that room during wrestling season. So the mats would stay inside because that's regulated by the temperature that they need to be. So it's more like all the volleyball standards, nets, all the things that don't necessarily need the temperature control space would be out there. All right. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Yeah, I will be leaving as well, so not to stay for your meeting, but I need to go back to work, honestly.
No problem. Adam, can you put a copy of that letter in my box? Thank you. All right, next consent agenda. All items in the consent agenda will be enacted by a single motion and roll call vote. Any item may be removed upon request by the mayor or any alderman and considered individually after all other items of business on the consent agenda. And we have 3 items. Approve the amended regular meeting minutes from August 25th, page 3 to 5. And then we will approve the regular meeting minutes from September 8th, pages 6 to 10, and then the bill list.
I make a motion to approve consent.
Thank you. Second, please.
Support.
Thank you. Any discussion on any of these? Yes, sir.
I'm going to request that the city council meetings for August 25th be re-amended.
I've never heard of that.
I sent Tori an email requesting the input.
What was the paragraph?
It's not in there. That's the issue. Before we voted on the amended city ordinance of 1764, I made a motion to amend that motion as it was written. That motion was not seconded, so it did not get passed, but I would like that in the record.
I'll amend my motion to include, this addition.
I'll second that.
Thank you.
So we'll table the approval of the August 25th minutes again, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Any other concerns? Okay, so we'll remove those.
We're looking for a motion to table the August 25th, 2025 amendments.
Which we got.
Is re-amended.
I don't know.
And then a motion to approve just the regular minute meetings and approve the last.
Yeah, to roll call on the amendment?
Okay, Tori, we'll do a roll call quick to table the August 25th minutes.
Alderperson Boonstra,
Yes.
Berggrass,
Yes.
King,
Yes.
Bass. Yes. Ratcliffe,
Yes.
Sewell,
Yes.
Van Campen. Yes. Wilkin,
Yes.
All right, if no one has anything else on the,
I just had a quick question, and it's just me needing a refresher, I think. On the $7,500 for the annual funding for the windmill, so the committees, like Christmas Committee, Fall Fest, different ones like that, get Dutch Days, they each get $2,000. And then this annual funding for the windmill is a separate allotment that's given annually for them to function. Okay.
and that covers all their expenses out of that.
It's actually the steering committee.
They do it, you know, they pay all the bills and do all the work.
Okay, I probably knew that.
And it's
one
been
time.
$5,000, Mindy, for years, and just about 2 years ago, they just couldn't with the electric bills and heating bills going up and up.
Yeah, they
So
do.
that covers all the expenses there.
Okay, thank you for the refresher. That's all I have.
Motion to approve just those two.
okay. Motion to approve the September 8th council meeting minutes and to approve the bill list, please.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Any other questions? Okay, roll call please, Tori.
Alderperson Berggrass,
Yes.
King,
Yes.
Bass. Yes. Ratcliffe,
Yes.
Sewell,
Yes.
Van Campen. Yes. Wilkin. Yes. Boonstra.
Yes.
Okay, next, current business, we have a motion to approve the ordinance amending chapter 119 of the Fulton Code of Ordinance for the regulation of recreational cannabis and cannabis business establishments. It's page 13 through 15. I have a motion, please.
Make that motion.
Second.
Thank you.
This is on the hours adjustment?
Yes, this is for the hours going, I don't know what they are now, but they're gonna be 7 a.m. to
10 to 10.
10 to 10, but moving them from 7 a.m. and I think we talked about it last time, just making it
Yep.
7 days a week so they can just decide on themselves.
Oh, right, the hours of operation.
Just out of curiosity, they can't sell on Sundays?
No, they can't.
They
They
can't,
pay additional licensing.
They have to pay an additional fee,
and they do.
registration fee to have a Sunday.
So, but these hours are just for Monday through Saturday, it's like.
There's a Sunday,
There's a Sunday section.
On Sunday.
last paragraph on the first page of the ordinance.
So that's the payment of that additional to 25?
Yes.
Okay.
Anyone else? Roll call, please, Tori.
Alderperson King,
Yes.
Mask. Yes. Ratcliffe,
Yes.
Sewell,
Yes.
Van Campen,
Yes.
Wilkin,
Yes.
Wilstra,
Yes.
Bergrat.
Yes.
All right, next we have a motion to approve and vote to replace the sidewalk mist on the downtown plans. Motion, please.
Motion.
Second.
Minnie and Sue.
Tori, you decide. All right, we were
Who's
handed.
First, Terry. Thank you.
Eric gave us this sheet here before the meeting, and it has the prices on here. We talked about it last meeting. Does anyone have any?
So this isn't to replace, this is to epoxy coat.
Correct. How far are they gonna mill down? Or that'd be on it would be on a, probably, a business by business basis to make sure it's flush, I assume, right?
Yeah, it's just, and we can add and subtract ones, you know, some people may not want it, and if those people don't want it, then that's their choice, so.
A question I had last time was, does this mean everybody's the same? All the businesses got the same?
No, not all of them. Some of them got new concrete because, they didn't meet the ADA standard, the ADA ramp. So like on the west side, since they raised everything up, they had to readjust the concrete going into a majority of those buildings. And then on the east side, they were able to make a lot of them work. Some had already had new concrete out in front. Some still had the existing, I know in front of Rebecca's, it's actually stone. And there's really not much we can do with stone because, you know, you don't know what you're going to get into once you really get into it. The ones that have carpet, we have not done anything with just because we don't know what's underneath of that carpet. And so you take the carpet out, now that problem is the city's, and we would be required to fix whatever issue may be. So at this point, we've just identified the ones that don't have carpet and they have the concrete, which is in your quote that I gave you. To do a skim coat, which actually they would take down 2 to 3 inches of concrete with a grinder, grind it all off. It would be about $5,465 per business to skim coat. To tear out and replace would be about $8,160. Correct, yes. So this was another option we had thought of. Having talked with McCarthy, this was an option they thought would be probably best because they knew it was going to be very pricey to do these other two options. So this is our option that seems to be the most feasible at this point in time.
So are we doing 3 of them, Eric? Homemade hippie?
As of right now, yes. Yep.
Do we know yet on the third block if anybody's gonna ask for this?
Not at this point in time yet.
Okay.
I wanted to make sure I had plans first before I determined if we were gonna worry about it.
What did they do at the ice cream shop? What did they do at the ice cream shop, your entrance area? Did they replace that?
No,
Nope.
Okay. Would you like to have it seal coated?
no.
Okay.
I was say I already talked to Jeff and he told me no. So
All right.
I said that's perfectly fine.
So you have talked to these business owners of their own?
The ones that would be affected, yeah. But the ones that have carpet, we have not talked to because we don't know what we would be getting into once we take that carpet off. So once we take the carpet off of said step or whatever, the entrance to the building, once you take that carpet off, now you're committed. Doesn't matter what it looks like, now you're committed to redoing whatever it is that's underneath of there. And we just don't want to put ourselves into a situation where we have to do it because we don't know what's underneath the carpets.
Eric, I have a question. Like Revere, in front of Revere. On one side of their door, they went all the way up to the building. On the other side, they didn't. It's about 4 inches gap. Why is that?
Say that again?
you go in Revere's doorway, in their door, okay? This side of the building, the new sidewalk is right up to the building. This side, there's a 4-inch gap.
It's Rivery, that's the muscle building.
They just might not be done. I know there's issues in that section that he's gotta,
Yeah, but why would they do one side, not the other? I don't understand.
I guess I'd have to look at it for sure to
Yeah,
tell
go
you.
take a look. And
Because
then,
especially the second block, if you really look, and I'll take Lashed Out for an example. I mean, you notice a lot of elevation changes, but that's so that way we can make ADA compliance into these businesses. Because before, if we would have left them down, that leaves a step, well, that's no longer ADA compliant because there's no way for somebody with a wheelchair to get into these businesses. So that's why you see a lot of elevation changes. So that way people can, each of these business owners is ADA compliant once this project's done.
but isn't that middle building gonna catch a lot of water?
So that was I wanted to bring that up.
Yeah,
No, 'cause all the sidewalks are slanted out.
it looks like it's,
Well, it goes up and down, but they're all slanted out to the road.
okay.
Cause that was, when I was going over there the other day, I'm like, that's gonna pull a lot of water in front of my place, but, so I didn't notice that it went that way. I just thought it went.
Yeah, most of it has a 1.5% slope out away from the buildings, which is more than enough to carry water away from each building. But it doesn't look like there's slope there, but there's slope coming away from each building. Because we don't want to leave those sidewalks flat, because then in turn that water has nowhere to go. So that's why all of the sidewalks have slant going out to the road.
So these 3 businesses that you sent us this for, that's replacing the sidewalk?
No. The quote that you have is to do epoxy coating.
So then is our motion wrong, cause it says only replace sidewalk?
Well, that was the first, that was the option that we had on the first meeting, was to replace. And then I got
When
more.
we need to,
It's all in how you make your motion.
I think there's some confusion as to what's going on here. So it's not in writing, but to replace the concrete in front of those 3 businesses, he said it'd be $8,000 to
Yeah, I
completely
understand.
remove. Oh, I'm gonna say this for her too, because she just asked.
I'm confused.
And then to do a skim coat, which would be about going 2 inches down, and then putting new concrete in, $5,400. Or an epoxy over top of the concrete is $820. Well, for rooted, they're all a little different, country orchids and then whatnot. But not as an alderman, but speaking as the owner of one of these businesses, I don't know what the epoxy looks like, and I don't even want it. So no one's asked me.
Isn't it like what they do in the garages?
I mean, I just think there's brand new concrete, and then I haven't seen it. I wasn't there the day Eric came by.
What is the reasoning for that?
The cost.
So the concrete didn't get tore out. I don't know why. It was asked to be, and it was told to proceed without doing it. Had it been done the day that they were there, $800 it would have cost. I've talked several times to Greg that's on the ground out there. He's also informed me that other things have been done on the fly. 10,000 here, 10,000 there. Why they didn't do that, don't know.
That is not true.
It is.
I'm here to
How
tell
about
you.
the corner in front of Dandelion Wishes that they are redoing? That was a decision that had to be made on the fly. Not going through council approval.
What about it? I don't know anything about this. About Dandelion Wishes? What's going on there?
So around the veteran memorial out there, Greg was saying that the elevations were all off, and they went and asked, should we do more concrete here or here to make it better? Yep, go ahead. Do you want to, Eric?
I don't know anything about this.
That's what he's told me. Also,
I
the
don't know anything
concrete
about it.
at the other end of the block, the sidewalks were never in the original plan. Those are done. None of it's made it to council. There's a lot going on downtown that's not made it to council. This one little project has come to council. That's it. Everything else that's been added on has just gotten added and done under our noses. So, I mean,
We had plans that it was supposed to do 4 blocks, and it ended up being 2, and then we had to add 3. That's a really.
Well, and that's a whole nother discussion there too, that we need to discuss tonight, because Greg has told me that the third block is not going to be able to be done
Well,
before
they have
it's
the
too
plans,
cold.
they have the plans now, so they're gonna continue on.
They have the actual pieces of equipment that they can put in.
No, they have the plans to move forward.
Yeah, and then those take 8 to
I'm-
10 weeks, right?
No,
To get the,
no. So they're gonna manufacture on site compared to buy, go to some other manufacturer, have them manufacture the catch basin, they're gonna do them on site, which will take days compared to weeks. So we can keep this project moving along, because we have the concrete crew here. If we stop project, in 2 weeks essentially, when they should be wrapping up, if we stop project then we may not get them back until next year, maybe, depending on how everything works. But with having the plans now, they can continue moving forward because they can manufacture on site, pour here, compared to having to go to Slavish, which is who their supplier is, have everything manufactured, and then it all has to get hauled out here. So they can manufacture the 2 catch basins they need here on site, and we can keep moving forward.
there is a chance that we might not get blacktop though, correct?
That's still up in the air,
A
yeah.
lot of times those companies shut down in November.
That just depends on the weather. So if the weather stays decent, if it stays above freezing, blacktop will still happen. Part of this is gonna get blacktop regardless.
Right,
The
the
third
2
block
blocks.
is the only one we don't know yet, because we were waiting on these plans. But now that we have the plans, I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be blacktop this year.
Eric, how did the plans get mixed up? I'm not understanding.
I don't have a good answer for you on that one, I don't.
I think this is where we got questions about this stuff, we should be going to Eric, not people working out in the street.
He's coming to me and sharing with me what's happening in front of my building. So I can't help but not listen to the information
If
he's
he's
telling
gonna
me.
tell you that, then ask Eric if he knows.
Oh, I have. And then Eric said, no, they never talked to me. So I don't know who to believe.
Who did you talk to? Tyler?
No. I'm talking about Greg, the guy
Greg is
working
their
on the
project
downtown.
manager.
Okay.
He told me he asked permission to do the concrete in front of our building while it was tore out. Eric
He didn't
says he
ask
never
me.
talked to him.
Is he confused?
So
who
it's
Eric
he
is?
said situation.
Yeah, and I've had the same conversation with Greg, and I asked him, I said, Greg, I didn't even talk to you that week, so how can I have told you not to tear that out? And he's like, yeah, I didn't talk to you until after the concrete was poured back in, so
He said, I asked and they told
I
me
think
no.
if
And
he's
I'm
coming
like,
to you, then maybe you need to tell him, go talk to Eric.
well, I'm gonna have a conversation with Greg tomorrow.
I think he needs to come to you with stuff instead of everybody else.
I
That way we don't
I'm
get
going
it
to have a
heard,
conversation
second,
with
third
Greg
hand.
tomorrow.
It's directly to you, and you handle it,
How can
and you
we,
keep us informed.
how can we make this motion work then? What are you suggesting
Well-
with the motion, that we get back to the
We
motion?
already know that Rooted didn't know about this plan. Did Country Orchids know that this was being?
I was just getting options for the council, that's all I was doing.
Because
Nothing has been decided, nothing has been spoken for, it's just, you guys wanted more options, so I gave more options.
I just wouldn't want to vote
Appreciate
yes
that.
on this and then have 3 businesses like, what are you doing? I don't want that.
right, no council members have talked to any business owners and asked, what do you actually want? Do you want
The
anything?
only,
I think
we talked to Kayla, but Kayla, you were gone at that point in time, but she said, wait till Jackie gets back, but by the time Jackie got back, they had already left for the day to go to, I don't know, their job, wherever they were going, but.
I would say let's table this until they talk to the business owners.
The only other one we did talk to was Chelsea down at Homemade Hippie, and she had kind of picked out whatever it is she liked. But
Okay.
Did you get to talk to Lori? Did she want it?
Lindsay was gonna stop back and talk with her. I don't know if she did or not. I haven't talked to Lindsay to find out if she ever asked Lori what she thought of it. But if not, I'll walk over and talk to her in the morning.
So why don't we table
Because
this the next meeting?
Why don't you just, if you want to approve it, and then people that
I
want it
should've-
can have it. I would prefer to have
I think Greg does.
skim coat done. I'm not happy about the pricing, but I'd I just would prefer concrete instead of an epoxy in front of my building, so. But it can stay cracked and broken too, so,
So let's,
I mean, that's my
let's
option.
talk about those pieces. So who owns them?
Yeah, who's,
We do.
so,
You're
so
I
if we put
I don't know.
epoxy coating on that, somebody slips and falls, do you come after the city, or is that on your
I
insurance?
guess I don't really know because it's,
So technically, the way it is, that is part of each individual building owner.
Yes, that's not city
That is,
property.
it's not technically city property, it is the building.
sidewalk.
owner.
But if we do the construction work on it,
It still wouldn't be the city's quote-unquote concrete.
property, it'd still be insured
It'd
by
still
the owner.
be insured by whoever the property owner is.
So they did the buildings that were not ADA compliant to make them ADA compliant, but if the building was already ADA compliant, they said, it's not city property, I'm not doing it. That's pretty much
No,
what happened.
they did mine.
Coming in.
Yeah, and mine was already 88 compliant.
But the elevations changed in front of your building.
Yeah.
That angle off.
I think in the future, we need to have these conversations, because I think we ran into this on 19th Avenue when they replaced the blacktop there. There was some gravel, some blacktop. When those things are happening, I think we have to have conversations with the people that aren't and say, this is your opportunity to do this if you want it, maybe at a cheaper cost, because you're already here doing this work. The city's not gonna pay for it because it's not our property, but here's your opportunity, because I think we ran into that there, and there was a lot of confusion on why people were getting it and not getting it, and now here we are again in a similar situation, where some are getting it and some aren't, and there's confusion.
19th Avenue really wasn't much confusion. The people that wanted it had talked to Porter Brothers, and they were the ones to get it, and they paid additionally. But then there was other homeowners who didn't want to pay for it, and then they didn't get it, and then it was grabbed.
Somebody in here.
Porter Brothers talked to the south side of the street.
I don't know.
Those people said that they got talked to.
And that might be, I don't know.
But the north side, nobody knew about it. So Porter Brothers didn't talk to everybody.
Well, that's not. I'm
Because
sure
I didn't get
who they
anybody come
talked
to my house and ask me.
I'm just saying if we can be proactive on that in the future, because otherwise we end up in
Yeah.
these
And
situations
that's-
where it may not be our bill to pay this, but at the same time, if the business owners could have got it at a much cheaper rate at that time, I understand their frustration to now have to pay a higher fee.
Yeah. Because the
And I
frustration
just
is
want to add
$500.
on, I just would like to add on Wendy's comment that we could spend a little more time in the beginning when we're looking at these also and ask those questions up front. Just spend a little more time and not make a hasty decision where we're making this and try to work out some of those things that might be conspicuous to us if we.
And I do encourage you to have a conversation with Greg, because I
Trust
think
me, I
that,
know.
yeah, he needs to be coming to you with these things, and I mean, it needs to be clear communication.
So, Eric, so the plan showed not going into these guys' doorway, or did it show?
It showed to not remove those sections of concrete.
Did?
It would just be like your home. I've got a slab of cement that's next to the sidewalk out in front, but it's my slab of cement. So if the city comes and puts a new sidewalk in, they're not gonna touch that. They're not gonna do anything.
They're not going to your obligated to make it flush to your existing
Right.
structure.
That's right.
It was just that,
It says home sidewalks. Well, it's about the communication, and that's something that we've talked about that we're trying to improve. Like with your newsletter and stuff that we're talking about, like eventually putting it on, the website so the community has more stuff, so it's just another,
Yeah, I understand it's more important to have it with the business owners to let them understand it.
well, and if I would have been given the choice, hey, for $800, they can remove this piece for you, I would have said, heck yeah, do it, that's a great deal, and it's right there, and I don't want that to stay looking like that.
And I think if Greg went to Eric and said, hey, $800, we could do this, Eric's gonna say, yeah.
Yep. But I think the whole project, there's not been eyes on it. And I think someone had made the comment, we're paying Will Hoffman enough, that they should have a handle on these things. Well, I disagree. If I'm gonna pay someone to come into my home and remodel my kitchen, I'm still gonna be like watching what they're doing. And I'm gonna make sure it's done the way I want it. And if I see them kind of going a little different direction, I'm gonna say something. Hey, why didn't you do that corner the way that we discussed it? Like closer management from here in that project needs to happen, especially once phase 2 comes up. And I mean, technically, we still have a block and a half to finish, so it's not too late to make sure that we don't have any big issues from here on out.
But in all actuality, we approved plans. And they should be going by what those plans are. Okay, we approved the plan, we went over them, we said this is what we want. If they're not doing it, that's on them, that's not us.
No, so this is what the issues have been a lot for the guys. As they're out there doing it, they're like, whoa, there's been a lot of survey mistakes. These numbers aren't adding up, so what are we gonna do?
I can tell you, this corner right over here between Crumpets and Rooted, what was on the plan said one thing. When they started laying everything out, it said a completely another thing. So we spent probably 2 hours out there, probably
3 days.
2 weeks ago, trying to figure out these elevation changes. And even Willett Hoffman said, there's a break somewhere in these elevations. We just have to figure out where it's at. So ended up what it being, we were able to figure out one side. The other side, they had to go back to the drawing board, figure out where the break was within their surveys. They found it out, they resurveyed everything, redrew it on their computers, made sure everything worked, brought it out, made sure everything worked out here, then it got poured in.
Yeah.
But there's been a lot of that to where the paper says one thing, out in the real world, like, hey, this ain't jiving. So that's where we've been running into a lot of issues is the paper tells us one thing, but then because Crumpets they've tore out 3-4 times now because when it was initially surveyed, it looked like it was coming in and it was going to be level with that step. Well, then when they started laying out the ADA, they're like, this isn't going to work. So they went back to the drawing board, found out they weren't supposed to do that. It was surveyed wrong. Had to go back, get it resurveyed, they got that done, and then they found out, well, hey, there's another issue here because it's telling me one thing, well, this isn't what's going on in real life. So,
But when they found that, they came and talked to you.
well, Greg came and talked to me and said, hey, something's
That's what
not
should be
going on.
happening.
And then that's when I requested Will Hoffman to come out here, figure out what's going on with all of
Where
the
you
elevations.
go to that and say, okay, for 800, we could have taken this out, but it's saying we're not supposed to. You know, hey, Eric, this is where the company should be going to him instead of the business owner.
He didn't come to me. I went out and said, how come this didn't get done? And what his words were, whether this is true or not, he said, I asked Eric and he said no. And then, of course, me and Lori are upset, like, why would you say no? Or why wouldn't we at least get asked if we could pay the amount or whatever? So there's a disconnect somewhere, and I'm just saying that's what happened.
That sounds like something, oh, we should have done that, and I didn't, so I'll just say I talked to Eric.
And maybe that's the way it went.
That
I'm
may have
just
been the
saying,
answer,
I'm the
but,
business
yeah.
owner at the end of the day that has cracked sidewalks, and I wish it wouldn't be.
The other answer of no may have been because it's not city property and it's not in the plan. So the answer is no.
That could be too.
Is Willett Hoffman the designer and engineer of the specific plan? Yes. And didn't we state at a previous meeting that they're supposed to be on site?
They have an individual on site
Okay.
for 40 hours a week.
So somewhere,
Greg?
No, that Greg is employed by McCarthy. Dan Mahan is here for Will Hoffman.
so somewhere between when the initial engineering surveying was done years ago to today, there was a misstep, right? And I don't hear Willett Hoffman being brought up enough in this conversation. And I would really like to have that be re-examined, if not now, in the future. So,
Oh, I got the plans for 2024, so that was last year, their plans.
Well, there's been a couple different versions of plans since they started. So when you do a project like this, you have a set of plans at 20%. You have another set of plans at 50%. And then you have a 75% plans. So they progress and then things change, and then you got to remember what they changed from the last set to this set, because as they're going, well, for example, in front of Olivia's, they added a doorway, and on the plans, it did not have 2 doorways there. So then when they got there, they're like, where'd this other doorway come from? And they asked me about it. I was like, well, no, there's only one doorway down there. I don't know what you're talking about. Then we got down there and I was like, oh yeah, when Olivia's bought this, they did add a doorway. Well, that was before or after all the surveys had been done. So then they had to go back to the drawing board, add in a doorway, figure out how to make all the elevations work. And that delayed that area of sidewalk by at least a week to get done, and to figure out how we were gonna make this all work. And which, we made it work, but now that also gave us another issue, which was the curb, which made the curb a lot flatter. So now we have to wait for a pre-slope drain, which can take 3-4 weeks to get. And now we're waiting on that.
And I'd just like to add, like, I was told that I'd have to have my front door closed for 2 days, 3 days, and it was 2 full weeks because they couldn't get the corner
The
figured out.
layout, right?
So, I mean,
And then
it's easy to
Olivia's-
sit back and like watch it and be like, oh, that's too bad. But when your livelihood is on the line and you can't get people in your door and there's 0 foot traffic, September is a great month. We always have traffic coming from Quad Cities to Galena or across and through. I mean, downtown's hurting, and it's discouraging that it's not been recognized, you know, by the council. And there's been nothing to help. There's been no signage. There's been no advertising. There's been nothing.
I put a sign up,
You did.
sent an article to the paper. I don't know.
Yep. And that was 10 weeks ago. And nothing else has been done to help anyone down there. Or even to talk to us and ask if we wanted help or need anything.
Well, how do we handle the motion here?
Well,
We table?
we know that,
He suggested we table it and get more information.
that's what I'm thinking.
I'll make that motion.
Especially with these 3 businesses that we know that one doesn't want this plan anyway. We don't know what plan they want of the 3 options, at least if we're thinking about doing these 3 businesses, we visit them and give them like option 1, 2, 3, and then maybe even vote on them separately.
I'm not even sure that we're agreeing to give other 2 options. I mean, that's a pretty high price tag.
Sure.
$1,000 a lot.
So we'd have to talk about that in finance, I think, as well.
Yeah, but maybe we should vote on them separately per business, I'm saying. Because if we pass this and then we go do it and they're like, wait, I didn't want this, and now it's already done because we voted to do it.
Well,
We already know
then, we
one
said,
business
let's
doesn't want
table this and get more information and make a more informed decision at the next meeting. That would be my motion.
it. That sounds good. Motion to table until next meeting.
Can I
With more
suggest,
information provided.
you talk to the business owners with the carpet as well? I mean, so that doesn't come up later, that they're like, how come you didn't give us now? I mean,
And
I don't know.
they should know that's their reason for not being selected for the epoxy or whatever. If that becomes an option.
There's a motion on the
All right,
table.
motion to table, please.
I did.
Second.
I second it.
All right, thank you. Roll call, please, Tori.
Councilperson Bergerath,
Yes.
King,
Yes.
Bass,
Yes.
Beckwith,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
Van Campen. Yes. Wilkin,
Abstain.
Lindstrom.
Yes.
All right, next we have a motion to approve and vote on the new Christmas lights for downtown. They are page 16, 17, your,
Skip the treasure for the Mary Gina.
sorry, it got,
It was supposed to be under vote,
Yeah.
not discussion, but we can still vote on it being as it is on the agenda.
Oh, voting on the lights?
Yeah, voting on which ones we want. Just to give everybody an idea, Kiwanis has donated $6,000 towards the purchase of new lights.
Stole my thunder. I was gonna say that. Yeah, we went to, they are $760 each, there's 16 of them. We want to thank Kiwanis for donating $6,000 for the lights. And I believe the police
The
department
police department is willing to purchase one.
is gonna buy one for us.
For administer the penalty, yeah.
What are they per late?
About $760.
So we want to thank the police department for pitching in on one of them.
How many are we getting?
16.
So what's our total number here?
It's 11,500.
So we're going, what we're looking at is the gold ones.
They're marked here, I think.
They're marked on the
Decided
sheet.
that last week.
There's one on 16 marked and one on 17.
You can do 8 of one and 8 of the other if you want.
What
I
about
thought we
light?
decided that last week, didn't we?
I think we all said we liked
Chose
the.
Yep.
It's pretty much, it was told to me, we like this one and we like that one, get prices on both, we'll end up being the prices the same for either one. So, it's just which one you like better.
So here's my thing, if it doesn't, like, let's say one goes down, it's not symmetrical, that would drive me nuts.
Yeah, I say we just get all of the same one, and then nobody, when you're installing them, is trying to figure out. Yeah. Well, when installing them too, the guys don't need to be like,
Like,
this
this has to
one's
go
a
right
little,
here.
and they're not very different, so I would just keep them all the same. My vote's the one on the first page.
Chelsea WW4
Yeah.
or 4 and 5 foot. Which one are we doing? Which one are we doing?
Page
We got
16.
quotes on
Oh,
we
which
got
size?
quotes on 4-footers.
4 foot.
4 foot.
Chelsea.
That's what I was asking.
I vote for the half and half.
This is also assuming we have streetlights by that point.
Yeah, that's what I like.
Nobody's really nice on it.
Yeah. Sorry, we kind of got off track
Anything that came-
because it was on your agenda as a discussion, but not a vote. So can I get a vote on this motion and vote on new Christmas light, please?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Thank you. Any further discussion?
Well, how do you want to decide?
Yeah, that's,
It's up to you.
how can we make a vote if we don't know which one we're voting?
They're marked here.
No, we have to, so let's
I have
do,
zero preference.
Here's a yes, and how do you make a yes or no? on
so
that?
let's do page 16 first.
Who likes it?
Raise your hand.
I like them both. I want both.
Wait,
So you want-
if we did two different ones, can you
want
imagine the public works guys trying to figure out like, oh,
You
this
want
has to
8
go,
and
it'd
8?
just be
It used to
easier.
be mine, sure.
It'd just be easier. They're not very different. They're hard to even tell apart. I just
So
think,
why not just get all one, if they're so much alike?
that's what I'm saying, just get the same one.
How come that was different than that one? Only a woman would. A man would say, oh, that
You
looks
guys
good.
just,
You mean like what lights? I didn't see it.
I feel like if we're
I didn't see no Christmas lights up there.
And that's the thing is, so you'd have 2 right here, 1 over here.
Terry cares.
yeah,
It's like
let's,
shopping with all of
Good point, so.
yeah.
You put one on one side of the road and one on the other.
Do you know who's installing them? They'll have to,
So
like,
let's just vote,
figure
who
that
wants
out.
page 16?
And we want gold.
Yes.
I don't have a vote.
Well, I know, but leave the vote.
I just time.
It's
We're
time.
still discussing.
Classic.
No, we're not discussing.
Yeah, we are.
We are.
Because
I
we're just
don't
still
think we need to
discussing.
make this more
Because you
difficult.
put, west side of the road gets 16.
We've had two
East
different,
side of the road
two different
gets
styles of lights
17.
forever.
What do we want?
Candy canes and Christmas trees.
Is this the hill you want to die
All
on?
the time.
So
And they always got them up, right?
that's for you to pay attention.
Even the fire department.
There's not enough difference between these two snowflakes for the installers to be able
Kathy and
to.
Jim, you have to look at
I
them every
think
day.
the
That's
ones
so
on
good.
page 17 might have a tendency when you store them to break a little bit easier.
I agree, Sue.
These
I'll make
are
a
more
motion
fuller.
I want
to vote on approving the purchase of 16
On page 16.
Chelsea WW 4-foot snowflakes as outlined on page 16 of the council pack.
I second it.
Does everyone like that one?
No.
We have to just call for the motion.
Yeah.
You can vote
Just
no
call
then.
for the This is
Call for the
so
motion.
tedious.
Can I make a phone call? I need to ask my wife.
She'll go with that one. I know she will.
I think she'll do cool.
Yeah, I do too. I think my wife would be both. So,
Everybody loves comment.
I've already asked her.
All right, we are going to vote on pole mount gold snowflake Chelsea WW4 and 5 foot on page 16. That is the second one from the roll call, please, Tori.
Alderperson Mask?
Yes.
Ratcliffe?
Yes.
Sewell?
Yes.
Van Campen?
Yes.
Wilkin?
Yes.
Boonstra?
Yes.
Bergera?
Yes.
Kate?
No.
That's Keith Hill for tonight.
Because of
What happened to Santa Claus, Christmas tree?
So you can check out all winter.
Yes.
No.
They
Well,
don't
then why
get
can't
them.
I have two?
Next on the agenda is a discussion for purchasing a dredger for the marina. Open this to the floor.
I think we're just talking still, I don't.
Yeah, it's discussion as a whole.
Any updates?
Have you heard from Clinton? Can't think of the person's name off the top of my head. Tyler?
So I had heard Clinton was going to be dredging here in the next year. That is not 100% true. They have figured out how much they need to have dredged out, but they have not entered into any contracts as of yet. They're projected to do that as part of their capital improvement plan in 2027. Obviously, that requires the council voting to put that money towards something else. So at this point, we're kind of back to square one on us finding somebody ourselves to dredge. But at this point, after finding out Clinton's, I had to do a bunch of phone calls and emails to try and figure out how true it actually was. But it's true they're looking into it, but they are not committed to anything at this point.
Looking into purchasing the dredger that's previously been shared, or actually
They were
getting
going
it
to
dredged
hire.
professionally?
They were going to hire it out.
And they were actually looking into.
So they don't want to share the cost? I'm sorry.
They were looking into just hiring it out, so that way they did not have to own any piece of equipment to do this. They were looking at doing it's called hydraulic dredging is what they're looking at doing. It's essentially you shoot water in to bust up the mud, and then it sucks it up, shoots it out somewhere else. If you've ever seen the Corps out on the river, that's essentially what they do.
And it lasts like almost 20 years
Yeah.
It
versus.
lasts up to 20 years because the thing with that is they go deep. And that's a problem we run into. We only go as deep as what we feel we absolutely have to be at. And with what Clinton is looking at doing, they're going to go as deep as they can and get as much material moved as they can for whatever money they're looking to allot towards it. And I don't know what that number is yet at this point in time, but I just know they're looking to do it 2027.
So the service provider that's doing that for them, is that anything we could look into, or are they way beyond?
Well, that's why I reached out to see if we could possibly piggyback off of them, but without them having an actual contract with a contractor, they don't even know who they would go with yet.
Oh, I see.
So we're still kind of in limbo as to who
What
it would be.
did, you had mentioned they're working on what plants, topography?
So yeah, they did topo, which is the topography of their marina, to figure out how much they needed to dredge out. That part has been done, but they have not gotten back to see what how much material is actually going to have to be moved to date. And that came from Matt Brooks, their city administrator. So I'm just waiting to hear more back from him at this point in time to figure out if they're going to move forward with it in the coming years, or if they're going to switch gears and go towards something else. But he just said, as of right now, we are 2027 looking to dredge, but that's 2 years away. So
My recollection is that our marina area is unique in the sense that it does, just by the location of how, that it silts up quicker and faster than anybody else's.
I would say us and Clinton are about the same, because Clinton has done it to where they've shut off the north end, which used to allow water to keep moving through. They've shut that off. They've now opened it back up. We have since done the same. So we're both very similar in how our marinas are set up, because they're on the back side of an island, which essentially will help guide that silt back to where we are. So we're very unique in our marinas compared to other
I've
communities.
just heard of people who used to go there, that it happened quicker here, and that's why it was a bigger problem to keep up with it. I'm not, just quoting somebody.
So we're
I just think it's
basically-
good to keep a discussion going on at this point. Yeah. We don't want to do it, we're not going to keep the marina. I think that's one of the things we have to talk about first. Are we committed to keeping it? Inside. I've gotten a lot of history on the past ones. I'm interested in that.
Well, I think we discussed leasing it as well, but we don't know if someone will lease it if it's not dredged.
Dredging's the biggest piece, I think.
Right.
That is gonna be definitely our responsibility before anything potential could ever happen with a leaser in the future. So we
What
will.
we're gonna spend to pay somebody to dredge, we could have our own dredge.
Were you here when he had mentioned the concerns with the dredger though?
Like the.
You got the last meeting, Terry?
Yeah, I was there.
Okay. I did watch the videos and I do agree with Zach's concerns. I think for the initial dredge, given the state that the marine is in, it needs to be done professionally. I 100% would love to own a dredger for maintenance, but I think the worst thing we could do is buy a dredger, be in the same situation we were last time where we can't move what we need to move. We would have, just city staff that was trained, so they're not gonna know above and beyond how to handle, equipment breaking or issues that may arise. We hire a company, get it done right. We are going to continue, we're gonna research this hydro dredging as well now. That's something we just recently learned about. Of course, it's more expensive, but it comes with that 20-year price tag, so.
If we could do that and then buy the maintenance piece, I mean, that makes sense.
Well, we wouldn't even need to buy the maintenance piece if this is something, I think if the potential leaser wanted to buy the piece of equipment to use it, yes, then they could, but this could get us off the hook of dredging for a very long time. I'm gonna definitely dig into the grant state funding piece again, and see if we can find some money to help us out.
Does the Corps offer something like dredging grants?
They won't take care of the north end?
I mean, they may do some dredging, but they would not come into like our marina.
Right, but I mean, if they would do the whole north end, that would be,
Well, they won't even do all of that. They would only do, right off the edge of the Mississippi, and they would stop water that comes into our property because it's not their property to maintain, unfortunately.
Well, I still have the information and the quote from the company that came to visit us, so I'll send that information to you.
They
So
weren't
you have the
hydro,
number.
were they?
What's that?
They weren't the hydraulic one, were they?
No.
No.
Technically, they are considered a hydraulic dredging because they're not using like a backhoe or something like that. So they do consider this because they are pumping the silt away. They consider that hydraulic dredging, but it has a mechanical arm that goes down. But it is still technically hydraulic dredging.
Oh, okay.
You might just want to call too, Eric and Dan Clark. I remember Dan really being very knowledgeable about.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's run into the same boat that we have, trying to find some way to do it for the little money we actually have. Because me and Dan have had many conversations about dredging over the years.
Well, that's good, because like I say, he knew more about it than anybody else that we worked with, so.
Sounds like if you had a boat down there, it was.
Well, he's just interested, wanted to make it work. So.
Well, I'll send the information out again to you all with the latest that I have. Next for committee as a whole is the trick or treat, but Chief's going to talk about that when we get to the police report, so we'll just pass that for now. And move on to Alderman comments. If anyone has any comments, I have two if you'd like me to start, or I can go last.
I'll start.
Okay.
Eric, have we gotten the cost estimate, the official cost estimate for the third block yet?
No, I just got the today, like this afternoon, so I'm hoping the cost will be in the next few days.
Okay.
Because I had to wait for the plans to get done first, so that way they could verify exactly what was coming out, what was going forward.
Will it be done in time for Thursday, you think?
I can push.
It'll be on Thursday.
Our finance
Thursday's
meeting.
finance meeting. Oh. So in the last meeting, he stated that the downtown will be substantially finished by October 1st. Still feel that way?
Blacktop would be the only thing I don't know of, because now we had with the curb that we had to add the drain into, that put us at a setback that we were not anticipating.
Okay.
So that's the only thing. Block 1 I think would definitely be substantially complete with blacktop. Block 2, I think the east side would be able to get paved. The west side, they could do part of it. It's just whether or not they want to jump around and come back, or I have a meeting scheduled with Greg tomorrow morning anyway,
Okay.
so I'm hoping to get some of these questions answered.
That would be a great update for your, end of week update. But along the same lines, the homecoming parade is scheduled for Friday. Have we had any communication with the school?
Yep, so the plan is they're gonna line up here on 5th Street like normal, and then they're gonna come down 10th Avenue, go straight down to the windmill, and then they'll turn left, and then they'll offload by the old Drives building.
Okay, so that's the official plan now for that, since we won't have, okay. And then the last question I have, and I don't even know who to address this to, the treasurer's report, I don't think I've seen that in a couple months. I thought that was gonna be at the end of every month.
But she should be here.
Yeah,
Well, I don't have the bank recs done. Actually, I just got them done today for August, so that's my fault. But there was a treasurer's report within the last couple of meetings.
Yeah, we had July's.
Did we?
Pretty sure.
I mean, at the end of July.
Well, so we wouldn't get that till the end of August, the end of July's. So we wouldn't get all our bank recs done till the end of August. So August is,
Middle of the month.
yeah, but so we have August, or we will have August now.
Okay. I guess I don't remember seeing it since then for a couple months, but maybe.
I'll send it to you, Zach.
All right, thank you.
Anyone else? All right, well, or did you want to go, or I can go?
well, you go.
Okay, I'll go. I got a call today from someone who lives in Ward 1 about the odor coming from the cannabis factory, if you will, down there. I just wonder, has any of you heard any complaints?
I have.
Third ward?
You have?
Ward 3.
Ward 3.
Ward
Oh,
Your third ward.
okay.
I'm Ward 1, 10th Avenue and 4th.
Yeah, third ward. Well, anyone
But
though.
we had an odor problem also. We had some kind of a sewer problem or something down there on 4th Street in my ward.
Maybe had a lot.
Oh, the sewer line broke last week.
Yeah, so.
Unrelated smell issue.
Yes.
Okay.
There were complaints in the first ward, so I thought maybe that's what you heard also. But
Oh, no.
we're talking about the cultivation center.
Yes.
So I have.
The smell of pot in the
We'll
air.
talk about that.
So I got that, I got a phone call on that one.
Okay.
And it was brought up to me, clean up my sneeze. Because Eric's getting me sick.
Thank you, guys.
Anyways, so ADM has that park that's across from ADM. There's a like square building there, and it's got, I don't know what it's called, for better lack of word, it's a sniffers test. Anyways, ADM has to keep the smell to a certain whatever it is, and anytime it's not, it's recorded in that machine, and then they get fined basically, and that's what funds a lot of parks and stuff over there. So the complaint that I got was that when they were just driving by, they don't enjoy being on 4th Street down that way because of the odor, and they have kids and stuff, and then the kids are asking questions, and they just don't want to talk to them about that stuff. So they had said, the question was, could they do something like that over here? And I'm like, I have no idea, and I just never got a chance to say anything, so there you go.
Okay.
It's interesting to me because I cannot smell anything. And I try because I have so many people complain to me, but those who can smell it can really smell it.
I
mean,
smell
they
it
just-
when I go by it.
They just go, oh, yeah, I can really, it's not just a
It's
smell.
not every day.
No,
I
you
go
gotta,
down that road every day.
Light sound.
It's
That's
not,
why I'm just.
it's not every day, it's,
They're on the right
if it's once a week, it would surprise me.
Okay.
So it doesn't, so I smell it a lot, but it doesn't bother me. But it bothered people that they called me about it.
Yeah, I hear it too.
And the other thing I've noticed, if you go by with your windows up, you don't smell
Well, not fair though for people that are in the summer.
it. I'm just
Talk to
saying, you
Dan
got
about
a
it.
business out there that's working, sometimes you go to Clinton and there's businesses over there besides 80 Young. Go by National Byproduct,
natural buys,
yeah, and take a whiff of that every so often, but actually, that's why they call the Miracle Mile the city of seven smells. And none of them good. This is a little bit of marijuana growth that you don't smell every day.
I wonder if it happens at a certain time because.
Can I add a comment real quick?
So I have contacted the grow facility itself to see what kind of information they can provide us as to why it smells certain times, certain days. So I'm just waiting on and I just did this afternoon, so I'm just waiting on some kind of response from them. I would imagine I would have something by tomorrow. But at this point, I have inquired with them about the smell, what can be done, is there something that triggers it with inside the facility? So I'm just waiting a response.
I'm just wondering if it ain't when they cut.
So I was just gonna say that. Been in contact with Jeff, and just as a statement on the grow facility, he put me in contact with the head person of the Solcana, which is the cultivation center. And they're gonna be setting up schedules for us to visit, for those people that wanted to visit. But they do have harvest every 3 weeks, and it's on Wednesdays typically, but they go, towards proper budding. So I'm sure when they're in the processing, it's an extraordinarily more potent smell being emitted from that facility.
And that sounds about right. It seems like I said, it wasn't every week.
It's every
So I just wonder if it's when they cut is when we're smelling
Yeah, because Lauren and I walk and we clean 4th Street and I have yet to smell it, but I've
Well,
had people
it's-
say it, but.
I've noticed one thing too is that when you do smell it, if you're coming into town, by the time you get to the end of JT Collins' property there, you don't smell it anymore. Or if you're going out towards the bridge, about the time you get to the street into the industrial park, just before you turn off on the bridge, it's gone. So it's a limited area that it's in, and it's not every day. I mean,
Okay.
I live in Third Ward. I talked to a lot of people down there, and so does Sue. We haven't had a complaint yet to us. So.
Okay. I was just curious since I got a call today.
Well, I had
Thank
a call
you
too,
for
so.
bringing that up, Shane.
I hear for sure, I mean, whether positive or negative, they're talking about it.
Yeah. There's been some jokes.
Next, we need to have a special meeting called probably
Wednesday or Thursday. whatever.
Wednesday or Thursday.
It'll take about 5-10 minutes. MSA did not give me the resolution until today, and we need to have a resolution passed along with our OSLAD application. So really, we just need to come in, we need to read the resolution, and then we either approve it or deny it, whichever the council wants to do, and then that's it.
Two things with that is what day works best for everyone, Wednesday or Thursday.
What time are you?
So you gotta make it 48 hours, so, right?
We can make it whatever time works for you.
We can't do Wednesday now.
We could for
Yeah,
7
yeah,
a.m., but
I don't wanna do that.
Should we do it before finance on Thursday? Oh, you're not.
I mean, that depends on the rest of the council.
What time is finance?
4. 3:55?
Yeah, 3:45.
I can't do that.
I could do that time, but I can't do after 5.
I mean, we could do 3:30 if it worked for people. I mean,
Can we 5 minutes?
3:30 works for me on Thursday.
3:30?
Works for me.
That's not
I think you need to talk to
No.
the people who are working.
Okay.
Maybe.
Well, Zach and I had moved the finance meeting to 4 because he had a conflict, but he could do a little bit before 4, right?
Yeah,
Like
I can hustle and
3:50.
make it here by 3:55. I mean, if you just need 5 minutes, if that's what it is.
I have an appointment at 4, so I can do 3:30.
You don't need my vote. This should be very easy.
So you just tell me.
I'm fine with 3:30.
That works.
Everybody's good with 3:30, we'll just put it on for 3:30 Thursday.
I'll just make it work.
Except me, I won't be, so I'll be out of town, and I'm leaving Wednesday, so we'll probably need a mayor pro tem while I'm gone. It's the council shall elect one of its own during the absence, so it's not up to me, it's up to you all. From the short time I've been in town, or this council, I know it's been Mindy and Keith. I know we mentioned you before, Keith. We went back and it actually expired after the election. So I don't have a preference. I don't mind who does it. It's, like, again, it's up to you all. I would ask maybe to just, I guess, share the wealth. So if somebody wants to do it, I don't mind, but maybe, hey, I'd like to do it this time, and maybe I'm on vacation again another time, and someone else might want to sit in and have the opportunity, but it's for you all to decide.
You're just going for the special meeting, or you're going for?
I'm leaving Wednesday and I'll be back on Monday.
So not for a council meeting.
No, I'm not gonna.
I think at the next council meeting, we need to make it more official. Who would ever be mayor pro tem.
Do you need a mayor pro tem for a special meeting? I suppose you do.
You'd have to have somebody preside over it. It doesn't necessarily have to be mayor pro tem. So whoever
you all want to preside over Thursday's meeting then. Or does anyone want to?
Hey, I'll do it. You do it, Keith. He's
Wait,
in-
here, let me, not.
Oh, you're not. Keith will.
He's volunteering.
Everyone good with that? Okay. Next, let's see. Last time we voted no for Barrett's liquor license. I went back and looked at like the licenses that we have, and talking to Renee, and then talking with you all a bit, and like I'm trying to understand our goal, if you will, because I keep hearing like we don't want more than 6 video establishments, but like he doesn't really have another option other than like a restaurant, and we know that he doesn't want a restaurant, so he doesn't want the C. So I'm trying to think what other option that he has, or is there an option to create a new liquor license that is a bar that does not offer video gaming? So I'm just trying to get
He won't get anywhere without video gaming at a bar.
well,
I mean,
Bars did it for years, and
you're right,
Zach-
they did, but not
Zach
anymore.
put a excellent email together, and thank you very much for that. Businesses need to stand on their own 2 feet. To rely on something just to supplement you, it's not a business. He wants to use that as a retirement. Do you think he's going to put a bunch of money into, he buys these golf simulators now, but 5 years from now, that simulator's obsolete. Is he going to put more money back into that to get the next best simulator? Or is he going to let those just kind of wear away and one broke and, we got gaming machines, I'm going to retire off of that. And so that business now becomes obsolete. It's a gaming den, essentially.
right.
Do we put a number of, hey, we have 44 gaming machines in Fulton? Because the gaming commission, they will pull machines from bars that aren't producing.
Okay.
Because Cordova Dragway, they've got a strip bar down there. They can have 6 machines there. They took the machines from them.
All 6?
Not all 6, they got like 4, I think now,
Okay.
because they weren't, like 2 days a week.
Do you know how long they give you the opportunity before they pull them?
No, we'd probably have to get a hold of the gaming commission on that one, but, say, hey, we have 44 gaming machines in Fulton, 42 of them are taken up right now, you can have 2 machines.
I see, okay.
And if they pull one from, Cheers Corner or Eagle River and say, hey, you guys aren't producing, you can only have 5 machines now.
After our last meeting, I was sick to my stomach for a week about denying him. I want to enable our businesses, and I couldn't understand why everyone was voting no. Zach sat with me and explained his concerns, and I think it was very much so he was new to council and simply did not understand a lot of the background with the ordinance and the way they're organized. And I think that he identified some real holes in our current ordinance. I think we had a great conversation before this meeting. He has just great insight, and I think it would be to our benefit to revisit our ordinance. It's not written, it's not redone, but the problem that I see is we thought we were doing a good thing, pulling out the A and the B1 and having, them present their plan to council, but then they're a special way, our other ordinance, or our other licenses are a special way. And what's the real problem here? It's the video gaming, right? Am I right when I say that?
No. The problem is we're not Las Vegas. We have all these bars and all these gambling dens.
So we have 6.
Enough is enough.
Morrison has 9.
I don't care what
Oregon
Morrison
has the
has.
exact same population as us, and they have 13. But what you're doing is you're stunting the growth of our community.
On bars? Because of bars?
Not necessarily. What if he has a wonderful business that attracts a lot of people to our area for the golf simulators? What if he was in business? Go ahead, give a dirty look because you're not a golf.
I'm trying
But you know what? There is a huge draw for that. I could name off 20 high school boys that would want to go
They
there
can't
every
go in
week.
a bar.
They could go in they could go in the golf simulator section. Have you ever taken your kids to the bowling alley? My kids can go to the bowling alley.
Yeah,
We can use the banquet. We go to Manny's once a week.
You
We
can-
have establishments with video gaming in them, and they're in a tasteful area off to the side.
Kids cannot go into Johnny's, they cannot go into Denny's.
But they can go in Manny's and they can go in the bowling
Because
alley.
Manny's is a restaurant too.
I took
It
my,
That's
doesn't
how the
matter.
kids can go
They
in.
have
Yes,
an
it does matter.
They have an A
They
license.
They can't walk into a bar.
They have an A license.
They can't walk
Hang
into
on.
Denny's. They can't walk into Johnny's.
I took my
No.
kid into Denny's, they're not allowed to sit at the bar.
They're not, yes, they can go
They
in.
can go there.
They can't sit at the bar.
Yeah.
I hate that you're so scared of the unknown. There are opportunities to allow new businesses in our community. So what if we took the video gaming piece out of A's and we said, here, this is a license for you to have a bar alongside your golf simulators. And he was in business for a year and had a great booming business and the track record to prove it. He's drawing families, golf leagues, all the young people, old people, and then in a year had the ability to say, hey, can I have that video game? If the video gaming was pulled out of the A license, this was a conversation Zach and I were having earlier, and something that other communities are doing, then it would force new businesses to have a business plan and operate on something other than the video gaming. So to Terry's point,
Excuse me, I did ask Mr. Wierenga if he could have a viable business without the gaming, and he said no, he could not.
okay,
said that.
then
He said that
he
to all
won't
of us.
move forward.
That's
But I'm trying to at least set a foundation and a precedent for the next person that wants to have a business. It's an
I'd like to
idea.
ask you to do something for us in the next couple weeks, is go to the business owners who had the gaming right from the beginning, Denny O, Johnny's, I don't remember all of them, and visit with them and ask them what impact this has on their business, if any, when we keep adding. Does that mean more people come to Fulton to play the games? Or does it mean the same amount of people are going different places? So in the next couple weeks, if you would talk to them individually.
Have you?
Okay, and talk with
Have
them.
you?
No, I haven't, but you're the one that's saying that we should have more and more. And
I keep hearing that you just think people are shifting. I would like to believe.
I don't know
if-
that. I'm asking you to find that out because you're
Okay.
saying, let's keep adding and adding. And I'd like to hear from the business owners.
So what I want is new businesses to come to the town. And if having a few machines off to the side is a part of that new business, so be it. People are conditioned to seeing these gaming machines everywhere they go now. You can go in a grocery store, convenience store, all across the state. Like it's not this scary thing. It's here, and we have to accept the reality that it is here.
We don't have to turn our town into.
And I'm not suggesting that.
Over talk to
In
Rock
dispensaries, I mean, we.
They allowed
we're in
everybody
other
that
business.
wanted one to get one. Now their downtown's ruined.
Yeah. So
All it is taverns,
Yeah, those
bars,
are Rock
and gaming
Falls.
dens.
So we added.
What I'm tired of, hold on a minute, Terry.
There's never been any businesses downtown. I worked there for 20 years. There was never any businesses downtown. There were other.
That's what we're being told, so.
Oh, I worked there. I mean, I
Well,
patrolled
then
those streets.
it's not true.
There was nothing but bars.
What I'm tired of
Oh, we don't want
is
that.
we vote in an ordinance. And because it doesn't go away that one alderman or two aldermen like, we're back a couple months later talking about changing.
Yeah.
We voted the ordinance in, what, March, April? And now we want to change it again. Why?
So what-
Because you don't like it or Zach don't like it?
No.
No,
it's
that's
because
why we're
there's
talking
holes
about
in
this.
it. And I don't like that we're putting people out here looking at us and then we're saying, go get a seat, be a restaurant. That's not our place.
Nobody
You know
said
what?
that.
Yes.
That I know of.
Yes, it
Okay,
did
but
happen.
what I'm saying is, okay, if you want every business downtown to be a bar,
I'm not
then so
saying
be
that.
it. But that's what you're insinuating.
I-
Everybody comes in here wanting a bar. You're gonna give them a license to be a bar. Pretty soon, that's all you're gonna have is bars.
That's what the committee goal was to decide the appropriate number for our town.
So I gotta ask a question. I wasn't here when this was done.
But that's not,
Let me ask.
but that's another thing.
Is it the
You can't
appropriate number
change
of video
everything because
gaming
you weren't here.
establishments
I'm not
or
trying to
bars?
change anything, I'm just trying
That's
to
what
ask
I'm
a
trying to
question.
get to the root
They
of.
have to have a liquor license to have the video game.
Right, but what are we limiting? Video gaming establishments?
We
or
limited
bars?
how many liquor licenses we could have.
Right, but is your holdup specifically the video gaming?
No.
Or the bar?
No.
Or just both?
We just don't want all kinds of liquor licenses there. It's a recipe for danger.
How?
We
Why?
decided
Why is it a
6.
recipe for danger?
Hang on, are you concerned about 10 restaurants serving liquor?
No,
Why?
That's what they're.
there's a difference there.
How?
They're not
Because
sitting there and getting.
they're not
drunk.
sitting there just having
How do you
people
know?
come in.
I've seen people come stumbling out of Don Julio's after several margaritas.
Not often.
There has been 10 instances at establishments with video gaming this whole last year. 10 police calls. That's out of almost 5,000 in the whole year.
Police involvement.
They're not enticing violence or danger.
Chad?
They're not even directly, like,
They have
some
nothing
of them
to
are
do
like
with
a removed subject, but it's not even because of gaming or that they were too intoxicated. One of them was one person that ordered protection against another person. Somebody might have been trespassed before. There are calls for service at our establishments that serve alcohol is very minimal. We're lucky.
I asked.
We are. Don't get me wrong. Trust me. Again, I worked in Rock Falls for a bunch of years. We spent a lot of times at freaking Bojack's and it's R&R. Back to names, a bunch of names back in the day. I can compare our clientele to Rock Falls' clientele. Totally different people. Again, I'm lucky enough. I had that experience that I've dealt with those different kinds of people and different aspects. I don't see an issue from the police side as far as public safety. That's, again, I don't get it, Danny, I can just tell you where we're at, and we're not getting calls for service at our establishments.
And another
People don't drink like they used to. I mean, they just don't.
It is a fact, like, young people don't drink, like, as much as people used to.
I wasn't here when the ordinance was written or the chart was made, so I was just curious, like, was an option to have a bar without video gaming, or
No.
nobody,
Ask Jackie,
or nobody
she
thought
was
about
on the
it?
committee.
No, we didn't change any of the ordinances the way they are written. All we did was decide a different path of how to achieve them. And actually, the council failed in going over the 5 criteria with Barrick before we made a decision. Everyone up here made a vote based on how you feel. There was no decision based on the criteria we went over. We picked that so that we could look at it with data, with numbers, and say, he has a plan, all right, he's going to make this much money, he's going to bring in this many employees. The idea of following the criteria was so that we didn't have a council voting based on their personal beliefs, their emotions. We are opening ourselves up to litigation when we want to just pick favorites. So what happens when someone shows up and says, hey, I want to put a brewery in. I just won $2 million and I'm going to put one in down here. Are we going to tell them no? We have to. That's a hole in our ordinance right now. We have to say no for the next year until Barracks expires, which that doesn't sit well with me, that we have to sideline a new potential business and then say, okay, you get it, and then Barracks sitting on the side.
All right. 3 Cheers is a good example. They're supposed to be a bar. They were a liquor store. There never was a bar in there. And they got gambling in.
And that's why I'm saying it's okay that we tried something and it's not working. We can pivot and we can still make maybe some adjustments with things that we didn't consider.
Right.
I'm not gonna pretend like I knew everything in that committee. I spent hours reading what I could.
Yeah, and we put together, I had Thompson, I had Morrison, I had Rock Falls, I had Sterling, I had Savannah. We decided Rock Falls was part of Rock Falls ordinances and some of Savannah's.
But the thing is, we can't predict the future. We can't predict, did any of us ever consider that location for a potential bar?
I did.
That wasn't
After I seen it, but.
And we were kind of thinking, well, really the only place that you could have a bar is downtown, and everyone's kind of, so we kind of based the number off of like most establishments kind of have this right now. Well, things happen. We hopefully will have a great marina someday, and what if a restaurant wants to pop up down there? They'll need an egg. We have to at least have an open mind so that we can grow.
Cheers got a bar in there?
Cheers Corner.
They're building it.
Cheers Corner got a bar in there yet?
They're building it.
They're building it, and they've had it for 2 years.
But remember Renee said that
They keep
Like
their
the
commission.
The video gaming said they were up to par. Yes, video gaming has nothing to do with our ordinance.
And so if you have an issue with that, then I would encourage you to talk to our liquor commissioner and do an investigation on that business. But
yeah, we could pull that license and there's an A.
You sure can, but you know what? That has nothing to do with allowing new businesses to come.
We have the right to put a limit on it, and that's what we did.
We do, but back to Zach and I's earlier conversation, something to consider. What if video gaming was its own separate license, an add-on, so that maybe our limit for A's could be a little bit higher for the potential of, bar areas that maybe don't want to do 60% in food sales, because to run a restaurant is a big undertaking. All right, 60% is a lot to have to be able to do that. But let's say we give a few higher A's for these potential businesses to have a bar, and then we have in our ordinance that after a year, then you can come back and apply for video gaming. And then that's something that we can release at a later date. And hopefully they have a year of showing that they were a legitimate business. Like, this is just an idea. I'm just saying that
We really can't do that because we have bars with an A that have video gaming. So you can't go with an A license now and say you can't have video gaming.
no, we would not pull on anyone that's currently doing what they're doing, but we can adjust for,
But
and
then what's
then what would
that?
happen is mayonnaise would become a C. Mayonnaise would become a C, and then they would have an add-on.
They might be, they probably could be a C. The reason they're an A, because they used to be Jean's Tap, and they took over their bar. And that was an A license.
And they have video gaming, so they have to be an A. But what I'm saying
Yeah, I'm
is if
trying
we
to-
reworked things,
I'm just trying to think of a license for someone who wants to open a sports bar but doesn't want video gaming. We don't
don't
seem
have
to
that.
have that. That's what I'm.
like if someone came into Olivia's, like you just said, and said,
Yeah.
hey, I want a family-friendly sports bar, I guess they would have food, but
Yeah, but they
maybe
may
not.
They may not.
Then it would have to be brought before the council for a vote again. What's
But then we
Well,
can't,
that's
but we
what that-
can't
yeah.
approve them for a
What's
year.
the 12 months thing? I guess I don't recall that.
So,
There's
new suggestion.
limitation on the application is only active for 1 year from the day of application. That way we don't have these zombie applications that have been sitting there for 6 or 7 years and suddenly one spring's free. And this person
Very-
then just pops up out of the weeds.
Very
Do
locked
we
in
anything
with
to
the
keep it alive during that time?
So if someone comes next month and like, oh, you guys have Olivia's to rent, I'd love to move this restaurant in there, I'm requesting an A license, the answer is automatically no. Because
Not for a year.
Barrick is on for a year.
And then another thing, I mean, with that, the year protection, a little bit, I think, was written in because what if we said no to Barrick and then in 2 months someone else came along and we said, oh, but you get it? Well, that just opens us up for litigation.
Yeah.
Which is why we're voting on the number of licenses instead of the specific license to the specific.
Right, but we
business.
could still, I
We
feel like
turned
it's
down
still
gambling
slippery,
license.
you
We
know?
said no before.
Dolan.
Dolan, Kathy Kennery, yep, we told them no,
We did.
yep.
And
You
that was
never
for a
presented this
B1.
plan though, correct?
No,
I'm sorry?
yeah,
You never
for
presented us
B1,
a
gambling.
We did. What kinda?
You
And
did?
And we did it
Kinda,
again.
yes.
We did no.
It was-
That's twice. We
I don't-
told him no.
I don't know that his plan was a solid plan, but he did come and present it.
I fully support keeping the B1s one. Like, I don't think we need another video gaming done in our community, but I think that there's areas and for new businesses, and I just don't want to not give.
I'd like to see other
people an
business come in
opportunity.
other than a bar.
Well,
Let's put our
would you like
energy
to
in
see?
attracting other
Sue,
businesses.
But see, part of, go ahead, Zach.
I just want to say, like, so I'm excited, or I was excited about the potential for a golf simulator place being part of the.
How many times does Legends get used over there?
It's busy all the time.
Oh, it's not.
No
So-
way.
No, it's not.
It absolutely
Are you going
is.
there?
I was
I
there.
go there about once a week.
I was there Sunday night, and there's 2 people back there on the golf simulator. There's only 2 bays.
I was been there Friday night and there was nobody there.
well, go in the wintertime.
Wow, I've only been there one time.
So in the wintertime, it's always busy over there.
Yeah, the winter time it might be. I
Yeah,
have,
summertime-
but
so
I know
I
they
usually
play
go
pool over
before.
there, and when they have pool league and that, there's nobody there.
I can reach out and ask him how often.
So what I wanted to say is, like, the website doesn't do a very good job of explaining what type of facility it is, but if you actually go there and look at it, I'm not asking anybody to do that, it's like a 30-minute drive, but it's a great looking facility, and I guess the vibe I get from the council is if somebody wants to open that, find a building on the other side of 84 and, open it up there and let the county get the revenues on that side of the street. And I know that we dealt with this before at the council, not this specific version of the council, but this council voted down retail cannabis sales, and then they found out, well, we're just gonna move it down the street, and you're like, well, maybe we should capture that revenue, and we did. And I would just like to at least have that open mind that when somebody presents something, You know, it's not just automatic no because they're not gonna make 60% of their revenue on the food.
Let's poll our community, let's have MSA, when they come to Fall Fest, ask our community, do you think we lack in bars, gaming dens, these type of options in our community? Do you wanna see more? I mean, let's poll the people that it affects, that have to live by it, that have to deal with it.
Put us in this position.
But what if you rephrase that question and said, what would you support, golf simulator?
Why can't we have just a
But
sports?
the guy came with the golf simulator and said he has to have gaming machines to be viable.
And he's gonna walk away and just let someone manage it.
And we don't even know that that's true.
We don't.
He may not need it.
He may not, but that's.
He
so-
told me that for retirement.
That he couldn't.
Yes, so he said that.
He thinks he doesn't know till he opens.
Because, so he's got the mindset of, my business is gonna fail if I don't have the gaming machine, so essentially, he doesn't know much about his business.
And maybe
He's
says
counting
that.
on the gaming
But I
He's
think,
counting on the gaming
yes, he
machine
was
to
using
do
that
that.
as a safety net, as a,
And here's another point on that though, is we added 40% more gaming machines back when Cheers Corner and Eagle River both. We did not increase our revenue on gaming by 40%.
We haven't seen that yet though. I mean, just to be fair,
You're
those machines,
2-3 months into that already.
no, Eagle
Yes.
River just got theirs online last month.
Okay, so Cheers
And
Corner has
Cheers
been
Corner's
there
been what, 2 months?
Four-
No.
They've been longer, at least 4 months. At least 4 months.
Right here.
I can almost guarantee it was at least 4 months for,
Yep.
so if
They've
they're
already
90
got the
days. in
printout
arrears.
on it.
On what day they became operational?
Yep.
So if
So
you
it's
start
a-
adding more machines, you're trading dollars at a certain point to where, you know what, maybe the bowling alley has to use that money to stay in business. You put more and more gaming machines throughout, you're trading dollars back and forth, guess what?
That's
They're
why I asked
losing their
Jack.
That doesn't
I
change your
understand why
cut.
I
Your
said
cut
that,
stays the
but-
same from the state. It doesn't matter if you trade dollars. Your cut's still the same.
Your cut's the same, but if you have.
It's the business that wouldn't get their cut.
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
get
that's crazy.
35%.
Ours stays the
Ours
same, but
stays
that
the
business
same.
will close down
But the business
if their revenue drops off because, they can't pay the gas bill for, the month of January because, everybody else is going to the new gaming den that, those machines might hit a little more,
Yeah, because the
Then
license.
you
We're
lose-
not gonna take the diehards from Johnny's or from Denny's and
People
go
can
to
go wherever
X
they
Golf or
want.
whatever.
It's not our job to monopolize the.
It isn't, but it is our job to say there is a limit.
I agree, and I'm not against, I'm not wanting video gaming everywhere, but do you see that there's kind of a hole for like a potential business like Barrett that wants to maybe have an activity like golf with a bar? Like, what if we took the machines out of the whole equation? Would he still move forward?
He said that, no.
He
Told us that. He said
Told us
that.
that.
Would we allow something like that?
Well, we can't.
So
We
I'm
actually
saying, like,
can't.
are we trying to limit video gaming, or are we trying to limit bars, or are we limiting both? Okay, because I thought it was just limit video gaming.
We're
sounded,
3,600 people.
Okay.
and so is Oregon, Illinois, and they have 13.
And their population's
more
been
than
declining
double.
in the past 3 years.
I'm just saying. I'm
Three
not
and-
saying we
three
need to
and
go
a
to
half
13, but
Ours has 2.
Right, so.
I mean, I wouldn't say that's a good argument. I mean,
It's not a good
the state of
argument, but
Illinois' total
you could
population
say-
has been declining for the last
And-
10 years.
Well, and that was kind of what surprised me and to go with Sue's point is like, what kind of business do we want? When you have a restaurant that closed this year, a boutique that closed this year, and then you have another store in town.
Dandelion Wishes is trying to
Dandelion
close.
Wishes that is, going to maybe close or looking to sell. Who's coming here? Like,
There'll be a revival, and especially once our downtown is improved.
and then you had a guy come with a plan and
But
want
it's
to
hard
open
to
a
stay
business,
open
and we
now.
told him no. I'm just saying, like, if Dandelion Wishes, I don't want to say it. If your business was successful, you wouldn't be closing. So people are not shopping there, and they're going to close up. So where are they going? Or like, what can we use to entice people to come here to open a business?
Well, economic development should be working on that in their committee meetings.
We are. We are.
And a lot of it is because taxes, the state of Illinois' taxes are ridiculous.
So, like, Why are we making it harder? We just keep making it harder.
I think that, back to what I've always said, every time this comes up, it's a vision for our community and there is a balance and there is gonna be an offset to that balance. And once you open that Pandora's box, you're not gonna close it. And then you're gonna move out of the area because your town's trash. That's what's gonna happen. And I'm not gonna vote to do that. That's where my hard stance is.
So if a brewery wanted to come downtown, a nice, clean establishment that needs an A license, what do we do?
No,
It would be no, they need a C.
it's a no.
They'd have to be a
You're gonna sell food like Great River.
You're gonna tell them they have to change their business plan and hire a chef and do it. We can't do that. We can't tell people what we want them to do. They have a vision. We need to do what we can to help them get
We
there.
have a vision too. That's what we're saying.
Yeah.
But Jackie, with the brewery, using that as an example, Clinton had one and it went under, and now Clinton has one and it's filed in bankruptcy.
I know, I'm
and
just saying an
By the way,
example.
Barb.
Oh, did it? Who
Yeah.
bought it?
Seven Hills.
Who are they?
They're out of Dubuque. They're gonna operate it as a lease.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm happy with
Lease-
those.
One
lease
brewery
operator.
that went out of business wasn't because they didn't have business. It went out of business because the owners got divorced.
Okay, well, that doesn't have anything to do with our council meeting here.
let's
I'm just saying,
Get back
that's,
on track.
that's, you're talking about it, so.
So it seems that there's a certain element of the council that just is not going to increase the number of licenses for A under any circumstances. Is that fair?
I think we voted,
I think that's why we voted, that was the cap on the number.
Okay. So in the ordinance, and I just read the ordinance because it's not online yet, it's not codified, so I had to get it on paper. It states that, it's up to the council to increase any of the numbers, right? So it is possible, it's just, some of the council saying
well,
no.
just give it a rest. I mean, we spent 4 or 5 months on this committee doing that meeting a couple times a month, and we came up, this is the decision we came up with, and here we are, 2 months later, 3 months later, rehashing it.
Okay.
Give it a break.
I just,
I'm not gonna give it a
I
break,
just
though,
think
Barb.
the process is
We
not
have 3 new members
strong.
and
Okay.
one that didn't understand. So that's 4 people that are,
No, all right.
you know.
Yeah, no,
I think the process is a little murky though. Would you all agree? Can we agree on that? That the process to add an A or a B1 maybe could be better? I don't know.
I think when Renee guides them in here, I think that's the first thing we need to say is they explain their business plan. We don't currently have a license available for that right now. We will hear your business plan and then it will be put to a vote on whether we are gonna increase the license or not. But, because otherwise there's a lot of back and forth when they're in here, we're all really uncomfortable because we know we don't have a license to give and we don't know if we're gonna be able to move them forward. So I wish that conversation was getting done earlier on, and then obviously if they have the option that we're all kind of unified in what's gonna happen when they're standing here in front of us, as far as whether we're putting it forward for a vote, and what that looks like.
So
Well, then what about the whole year thing? Does it have to be a year?
no, that could be changed, but this is just some food for thought. What if we had, and I've kind of thrown this idea to Shane, what if we had a liquor commission to look at the ordinance? Because right now it's not a whole ordinance yet, it's just a small portion of it, and we need to get the whole ordinance done compared to just a small piece of it. That way it's actually complete. But when somebody comes to Renee and says, hey, I want a liquor license for whatever the case may be, that person then, whoever it is, talks to Renee. Renee's like, okay, well, we're going to set up a meeting with the liquor commission. And we have a group of individuals that they come in, whether it's council members, whether it's community members, however we decide to do it. But we have a committee that oversees these things. And that way we don't have to hash this out at every single council meeting when somebody wants a liquor license.
I like
Because
that.
it's the same,
I like
it's the
that.
same questions that are getting asked every single meeting.
And it's so public, like
But
for,
maybe they don't want their name out there for everybody to know in case this doesn't happen. At least then it's a small group of people. They come, they ask the questions, they can have 3, 4, 5 meetings, however many they feel like they need to make an informed decision. And then that commission gives their recommendation to the council as to, hey, we've, and I'm just gonna take Barrick for example. We've listened to Barrick, we've went through everything, he's met all of our criteria, you know, we feel this would be a great asset to our community. You know, it would be our recommendation to move forward. You know, and I'm not saying that would happen every single time, but I'm just saying at least then it takes a lot of the questions that are getting asked on an every single night basis, every time we ask them to come back. At least it takes a lot of those questions that are being asked every single meeting. It's being asked at the committee level, like we have all these other committees. It's being asked at a committee level, and then we don't have to, you know, essentially, I'm not going to say badger them, but badger them here in front of the entire council when maybe they don't want to be in front of the entire council because they do want to keep it private. Because if they don't get the license and they got a bunch of people's hopes up and, hey, now, well, it looks like that, I don't get the license, so there goes that idea.
I like that again.
I mean, just food for thought. I'm not saying you have to, just an idea.
I think it's a great idea. I think of the hours and hours that we all up here spend, I mean, over a year's time on different applications that come through, whatnot, like a screening process with a commission, and then their recommendation, like the zoning committee, right?
It would be very similar to that.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it has to be members outside of the council. It could be council members, it could be community members, it could be a mixture of both. I mean, that's up to the council on how they would decide they want to do it. But I'm just throwing ideas out there because, I mean, you think of this, we've been talking about this now for 45 minutes.
I think as council members, we should be respected at our decision. It shouldn't just if we made a decision at this time, come back in a year, that's the way it was. You know, why keep coming back and throwing back? Let's try to work it out and figure it out.
Well, what about the next application though, Sue? There's gonna be someone else.
There's no opening.
Sue, what about the next council? No, the new council people don't get a say because that's what was established.
Well, then the next council
We change
will have a
ordinances all the time. We amend ordinances all the
We
time.
haven't even been into this one since April 14th it was passed. We haven't even been into this.
The reason that I only agreed to setting up the limit the way we did was because I had faith that if someone with a potential business plan came to this council, that we would have an open enough mind to like say, okay, yeah, we'll allow you to proceed with your business. I didn't think that.
Shane and Eric, I wish you'd go up and talk to Mayor Gunderson in Savannah. He's the judge.
I think that would be a good idea.
Go talk to him.
That the two of you go up and talk to him.
Yep.
About what?
He'll tell you how he operates his.
His liquor license and game.
I mean, every community operates differently. I mean,
Right.
you know,
But
Oregon
he
operates
gets
theirs
it to
differently
where
than we do.
he
Oregon
doesn't
operates-
sign the license until he walks into that business. When he has their business plan, they hand it to him and the council, and when he walks in, he will not sign their liquor license if it's not up to what it's supposed to be.
And
Why
then,
didn't you suggest that when we were going through?
I did. I did.
It's not anywhere written in our ordinance that that's the way it's supposed to
No, I brought it up and Wendy said no.
be. I don't remember that ever being brought up.
Yeah, yes, I did. Yes, I did. Because I said I talked to
Yeah,
Gunderson,
all right.
and I talked to Gunderson, and she said she called him and talked to him.
Time to move on.
Okay,
Time to move on.
time to move on.
And get repeated comments, time to move on.
More time. Finance Committee meeting minutes, page 1821. Zach, you want to hit on that, please?
I do. Thank you so much. So we had the last finance, these are the notes from last one, which was August 19th. As you can see who was in attendance there. Really, it's about two main things. One, we brought this up in the last council, or actually it was in the MSA planning meeting. The ability for the systems to talk to each other, and Allie and Eric talked to that a little bit. ClearGov, and what's the other one? Civic. To be able to create an automated, I guess, view of projects coming up and when funds come out of them, so we can see a real-time moving, I guess, fund balance for each of our funds, because we say we're going to pull from here for this project, we're going to pull from here from this project, and I think it would be very good for all of the council to be able to see that, because obviously everything comes down to, can we afford it or not? You know, where is this money coming from? Because once we earmark it, we don't actually see it earmarked until it comes out of the fund, and then the fund's actually updated with that new amount the next time. I think there is some challenges to that, though.
oh yeah, it's definitely a work in progress. Yeah.
Okay. Is it something, though, and I'll just state this, we'll readjust it. We'll reevaluate it on Thursday after we get their feedback on the ability to talk to each other. Those two programs. The other part was the downtown project funding. This for phase 2. If you flip it over to page 20 and 21, this was the initial phase 2 cost estimate that we went over, and I think the big thing to take from this, I didn't want to put markups on here, so I gave you guys just a blank sheet. What Eric and I talked to, or what we all talked to, excuse me, in that meeting is when we go to phase 2, we don't have anything secured yet as far as direct funding, as far as grants yet. For that, we do have a Illinois EPA loan for just the water projects. The water line under 4th Street is part of that, but really the infrastructure is something else entirely.
How much is that?
Totals 2.9 million.
That's the grant that we did get?
Yeah.
But how much of it that gets allocated to this phase 2?
No, that would be all of it.
All of it will?
Nope, just so we're clear, the grant is separate from the Illinois EPA loan.
Okay.
We did get the grant?
No. We got the Illinois EPA loan.
Yes.
We have not heard on the grant yet.
Okay, sorry.
So it's a little bit confusing, and this, I want to make sure everybody's on the same page. So they're two completely different numbers. The 3.1, right?
Yep.
Yeah, is project cost. If you go down to the water main replacement, looping, and water tower painting, that's the actual Illinois EPA loan. We get 30% of that forgiven by the state, and then we get a loan for 30 years at approximately, this will vary a little bit, 1.62%.
Yeah, that should be locked in.
Okay, 1.62%. The issue that the full council needs to consider moving forward is when we get to the phase 2 for the downtown project is all these numbers can be pared down to whatever we really want to. But the thing that needs to be done that is paid for by the Illinois EPA loan is the water line. So we have to, in my opinion, it's up to the council, move forward with that, but we can throw down a fresh slab of blacktop downtown instead of tearing up the whole downtown to the substrate, if that's where we wanted to go. There are some other things in here that, landscaping, cut that back. What was some of the other
Essentially,
ones?
what Zach is getting at is, say we do not get this 3.1 million, we can scale this way back. We can scale this back, get the water main in, because that is a go, essentially, at this point in time. So that project's a go, but we can scale this way back to where all we are gonna do is we're gonna grind down 4th Street, and they're gonna come back in with new blacktop and repave it, if we do not get the grant. So that way we still essentially have new roads downtown, it's a fresh new look, but the timeline of downtown actually being down will be a lot less
That's my
compared
question.
to,
Does that mean that businesses would be,
they can stay open the entire time.
Eric, I was gonna ask earlier, when they put the blacktop on next week, will that still be a 2-way? Will we paint it?
No, so we're gonna leave everything at 2-way until everything's done,
all
and
three
then it'll
blocks.
switch.
Until
Assuming-
phase 2 is done.
Right, and
Okay.
assuming the council still wants to go that route, then it would switch to the 1-way going north.
Well, we voted on it, so.
Right. So just kind of a little clarification, this project on page 21 can get scaled significantly back, assuming we do not get the funding of 3.1.
Okay.
So,
And I guess where that leads to next is if we don't get the grant, what does the city feel comfortable with as far as, do we finance that out? Do we continue to pull from funds?
what's our debt right now?
It's a great question. I don't know.
I don't know off the top of my head.
You know what our debt is?
I have a chart, I don't have the number off the top of my head.
I'm guessing with this new loan, we would be somewhere 5 to 6 million total debt.
Our debt now is like 2 or 3 million?
Our debt right now is about 4 million, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I thought it was closer to 5, but
Yeah, I mean, it's between 4 and 5 million. I don't have an exact figure for you.
Yeah, we're sitting through the audit exit tomorrow, so we'll have final numbers, more final.
So the next meeting, we might be able to provide better numbers for you, 'cause like we just got the audit, preliminary audit
I just think
result.
when we're talking this kind of
yesterday.
number, you really want to know what
Or
you're
maybe
sitting on
Friday.
as debt. I think that it's really
Sure,
important.
Are we able to pay for it? And if we don't have debt load for anything else coming up.
Well, the nice thing about the EPA loan is we're actually paying a debt off here this December, and then once the project's done, then we're adding that back in, but it's actually for a lesser amount than what we're paying right now. So right now, we have a $120,000 loan we're paying on, which would be the water tower. Once we make our final payment in December, we're gonna essentially reissue money to go towards the water funding for repainting the water tower, water main out to 31st Avenue, and also the water main downtown. But the amount we're gonna pay yearly is less than what we were paying. So we're kind of making a trade-off where we're saving a little bit of money in the long run.
So when we say we're gonna scale it back, what are we cutting out? Is it like the sewer lines going through there? Is it-
Well, there's no sanitary sewer lines to be messed with. All the storm sewer lines have already been replaced, minus 9th Avenue. It's essentially just taking the road that we have and making it blacktop.
Yeah, like
If
the
we-
brick stamped concrete is in there, Keith. We don't have to do that.
But I'm just saying, we don't get the grant, we do this. How long until we have to dig it back up to fix something else we could have fixed during that period?
If I had a glass ball, I could tell you, but I don't have a good answer for you.
Well, I mean, Keith, from that perspective, it'd probably be, total cheaper to tear up blacktop, and go back in than tearing up freshly poured concrete down to the substrate.
Most blacktop has a life expectancy of 15 to 20 years.
It's not a permanent solution, I guess is.
This is just assuming we don't get the grant. Worst case scenario, we can do this project because we don't know if this is going to be funded again next year. So if essentially everything's going to be tore up, with the new water main, would you rather have, it patched back in like it is, or, because we are essentially planning on a new road coming in next year.
Where does the annual payment come out of?
Say
On
that
the
again.
water main replacement and that? Where's that payment come from?
That'll come from water sewers.
Water and sewer?
And I think we're just trying to be financially responsible and sharing with the community. The hope is that we get the grant.
Yeah.
Ultimately, that's been the hope the whole time, but if we're not gonna get the grant, we need to know what this project looks like in that.
Absolutely. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for planning
I just
ahead.
don't wanna stick cut back,
Proactive.
and then turn around and stick even more money coming back because we had to fix something we could have taken care of at the time.
But it
Because
sounds like
we
we
got
got
the
a whole lot
equipment
under
here.
What else is in there that wouldn't have gotten fixed though? Like
Brick and
everything,
concrete's the only thing
everything
that
is,
would be, and essentially you could leave the concrete and just put rock on it. It wouldn't hurt anything.
So you guys have seen the subsection, right? It's rock, brick, layer of blacktop, another layer of brick, and finally our layer of blacktop on top. So it's a pancake there for sure.
But you're gonna have to take some of it out to do the water main, right?
Yeah, which part of that would be covered with the loan that we would have, but it would only be what is affected by the water main itself.
Hopefully we won't have to go that route, but.
We want to be prepared, prepare you guys in case we do have to come back and ask for that. Because we might have to pay for it ourselves, I guess is the point. But it won't cost 3.1 if we scale it back.
The only thing I want to make sure of is that when we do come back and talk about the second phase, that we include all the business owners, every one of them, so they know what's going on.
And Jackie, I would love for you to share input on what the businesses would like to see more from the council before we start phase 2. You know what I mean? What ways we can be assisting, obviously financially, if there was ways we could offer solutions, we'd love to do that, but it more so would probably just have to be from a support perspective. But if there's ways that you're hearing them say, why isn't the city doing this, or why isn't the council doing this? We would love to know what those things are, because I think we just don't know. Like
Yeah,
what
no,
we could be
I
doing to,
give you examples for sure.
yeah, that would be great.
Good, Jack?
Unless anybody else has questions on the minutes.
All All right, Chief, you're up, please.
All right, we'll try to go as quick as we can. Obviously, just our numbers for the month. Sorry for being a couple weeks late, but I was on last meeting. Like I said, our monthly numbers are still about the same, 406 calls for service. Upcoming training. We were able to have our cops and rodders last week. I guess there was some communication about the road being closed that the windmill and the cultural center wasn't aware of. I thought we did what we could to get it put out on social media that it was going to be closed, but we probably should have went to them directly and let them know that they were going to be involved or affected. Even though we had to compete with the Erie Car Show and Erie had their big weekend that they normally do, we were still able to get about 50 cars, which was really awesome. Next month is Breast Cancer Awareness Month for October, so we will be doing a sort of a fundraiser, and we'll be selling our patch that we have done in pink. We'll be selling these for $10 a piece, and then we also have an online store that we'll be selling some shirts to raise funds for Pink Heals. Anybody that has ever had anybody affected by breast cancer, Pink Heals is just an amazing organization. Go out to help support all those guys. Also with that, running into Fall Fest, we will be having shirts for sale at Fall Fest. So the police department will be setting up a little booth, our tent, and we will be selling our patches and koozies and shirts and sweatshirts at Fall Fest. We've already kind of discussed the homecoming parade, which will be the 3rd, which is like just said, it'll be starting right out here on 5th, down to the windmill. So far, the North Bridge is looking like it's still on track to be up and going, give or take. But the Illinois to Iowa side is supposedly already done, and they're working on the other side coming back this way.
So what's the target date on that? I haven't heard anything.
Last it was November 1st, but
Okay.
Oh, it's, according to IDOT, it's 1 December. As of 5 September, it's 1 December.
Gotcha. Well, they was scheduled for 100 working days from the very beginning. They've been working Saturdays and they've been working late at night, and they haven't had very many down days. And
November 1st.
right. And they haven't had any weather days, so hopefully we'll keep on track.
So the latest was December 1st.
As of 5 September.
But that could be total
website,
completion date.
it says.
I think they're gonna try and open the bridge as soon as they can, but the lighting may not be up.
Well, it's not really when in the summertime because it's shit.
Well, no, I mean,
thought
there's
the
light
bridge
posts
was
themselves are not.
November 15th.
Well, they're not on.
And take no doodle.
Thanks to our council, we have received our 2 new Tahoes, and they are up and running in service. Just waiting for a couple of little things, waiting for an AED for one of the cars. But if you see the gray Tahoes, they're awesome. Thank you. We have upgraded to the Taser 7, which I got a whole little spiel there from Taser. They're definitely going to be a game changer in keeping officers safe. We don't use them a lot, but Taser's goal is to reduce officer-involved shooting deaths by 50%. So, I mean, that's huge, especially the mental aspect for the officer if we were ever to have to use force against someone. Lastly, trick or treat. I know we brought up, Zach had asked about trick or treat and pointed out that there was nothing going on the 31st. So I'm requesting that we do our trick or treat to coincide with communities such as Clinton and be from 6 to 8 p.m. on the 31st. I don't got a problem, everybody can kind of push that out.
You want to do that?
Yep.
Yep, sounds good. Any questions for Chief?
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you. Barb, Historical Society report.
Yep, everything's going well. Doing lots of work with people who are interested in doing genealogy research. This is what we especially really enjoy doing that. We have 2 programs lined up, one in October, which will be on the history of the 6 bridges, the 3 previous and the 3 current. We did that about 10 years ago, and that's been requested by popular demand now that there's so much attention on the bridges, so we'll do that in October. We also have a person who's going to do a program on the building itself, the architecture of that building. And we had that done many years ago and not lately, so those are our 2 programs that we have on that. Everything's going well, and yeah.
Any questions for Barb? Okay, next we will entertain a motion and a second to go into closed session.
Move.
Motion, please.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please, Tori.
Alderperson King,
Yes.
Mask. Yes. Ratcliffe.
Yes.
Sewell.
Yes.
McGambon.
Yes.
Wilkin.
Yes.
Boonstra.
Yeah.
Berggraf.
Yes.
All right, at this time, we'll recess into closed session and kindly ask the public to leave the meeting.
Okay.